that it ended up in everybody's MySpace page.
Right, everyone did little tributes to her.
Right, the same pose.
With the cigarette dangling as well.
Speaking of MySpace, is it time that we just turned out the light on that? Speaking of the 15 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, now that we're entering a new decade, forget about it. It's over.
And everyone who had a MySpace probably gets a loser tattoo and then never has to bring it up again.
Okay.
You willing to do that, Dave?
Sure. I know the guy behind the glass is going to get one as well.
Both of you guys had a MySpace?
Yeah, I had a MySpace.
He lived by his MySpace way more than I did. I just put mine up for shits and giggles. I never even checked it.
Did you shit and then giggle?
He always checked his MySpace. Pepper Hicks, I'm talking about.
I guarantee in about another year you're going to say that you weren't into Twitter.
Maybe.
Here's one that they tried to turn into a hero, and as the truth came out, she just disappeared, and that's Private Jessica Lynch. She was the one they originally said was shooting her way out of a place.
Meg Ryan? Right. That was the Meg Ryan movie?
Not that I know of. Meg would have been too old to play her.
Okay.
Yeah.
She was actually there in Iraq.
Yeah, no, but then they made some kind of movie, but maybe I'm mistaken.
And then it turned out it wasn't this great heroic firefight that saved her life. The Iraqis were ready to turn her over. She had been injured, and they were turning her over anyway.
It was all a very strange thing.
Yeah.
Where the lies began without an end that no one could ever figure out. Here's a guy who, white hot for a while, Joe the Plumber. And the more of that, the less people wanted to know.
Oh, yes.
Here's a name we almost forgot, Jeremiah Wright, who was Obama's racist pastor. From Fez's neck of the woods, Terry Schiavo.
From my hometown, Pinellas Park, Florida. Congress even went in, I think it was some sort of holiday night, I can't remember which one, but they went in at night to debate on whether this woman should have her feeding tube removed. All of Congress showed up.
And I remember some of the people were so enraged and so freaked out about it, and then were able to go on after she died. You know, but at the time, if you looked at it, you would have thought, who was like some of the Fox News guys?
Paul O'Reilly,
Hannity.
I think it was Hannity who flew down there, did his show, and looked like if this woman dies, he's going to die with her. And a week after she died, he seemed to be okay about it and just was able to drop it. This is a kid who did more to ruin our country and sporting in general, and that's J-Mac, the autistic basketball player. Now, let me put this properly. I got no problem with J-Mac. My problem with how many J-Mac wannabes are out there now ruining every high school game. Explain J-Mac, Fez.
J-Mac was a kid that they let on the basketball team. He's autistic. They let him on his high school basketball team basically because he wanted to be there. He never got to play in a game or anything.
Well, he was the manager, right? He was the equipment manager, and he's autistic.
He was the Tony Reali of their team.
Yeah, equipment manager.
That's really wrong.
So, end of the
By the way, Tony Reali wearing sharp suits every night now. Have you noticed?
Too much.
Almost shark skin.
But I know where you're from in New Jersey, mister. You're not a fucking gangster.
So they put him in last game. They were up so much that it didn't matter, I guess. They put him in. I think he sunk 6 3-pointers in a row.
6 threes. 18 points. Not bad.
And
but nobody was guarding him. The other team just let him fucking drill. What happens now? The blind kid gets to score a touchdown.
Everyone.
The deaf kid gets to lead the band. Whatever it is.
Retarded midget.
And then everybody's supposed to be able to go to the Today Show and say once a month, my heart went out so much. What always makes me furious, they interview the kids' team instead of the other team that laid down for them. Somebody's got to pull a Brooklyn Brawler here. Right. And I'm telling you, for this story to be nice. But I think if your kid is out there and he is guarding autistic J-Mac, you got to tell him, put the ball back in his face. Susan Boyle was a big one. And this is one that I like because we haven't had a story like this, I think, since the 1950s. And that's a famous, long-running game show winner like Ken Jennings.
Oh, I love him.
Unlike a millionaire guy who goes up, wins in one night, Ken Jennings stayed on the show like it was a fucking full-time job.
That was great, and that was because of a rule change that Jeopardy made, a brilliant rule change, which, they used to only be able to play for a week. I saw Ken Jennings in the subway last year, and I still recognized him. No one else knew who the hell he was.
Did you yell at Ken Jennings?
Absolutely. I'm an asshole like that.
Did you yell back?
I pointed. He smiled politely, had a very Mikey boy
He looks just like Mikey Boy.
And he even did the same kind of little chuckle to himself and shy, bashful wave.
By the way, Mikey Boy is the person who runs 202 Friends Twitter for us and our best friend. But if we did a movie about Ken Jennings, he could play that part.
As long as he cut off the Furio hair.
I think he has cut it down.
All right, good.
I saw his Twitter, and he said he lost 6 pounds of hair. That might have only been on his crotch. Yeah, it's disgusting.
Well, he's dieting.
I don't get that part.
No. That's confusing.
Just, I mean, it's one way to lose weight.
All right, about to wrap this one up. Another hour of these scandals. And you look this stuff over, Fezzi, and you wonder why we ever paid that much attention to it to begin with. Let's do real quick before we end up here. Political scandals. Governor Mark Sanford ran off to Argentina. Then Chicago story, Fez.
Rod Blagojevich trying to sell off President-elect Obama's Senate seat.
Davy Mack, John Edwards, and what was his big scandal?
Wife. Cheated on his wife.
Love child. Always second best. Elliot Spitzer, and he brought up
Hooker.
Client 9.
Right.
Client 9.
His code name.
Let's see if Hicks can remember this one. Senator Larry Craig.
Bathroom trying to get blown by dude.
And wide stance. Wide stance. God bless his heart, the great Pat Tillman. What happened there? I'm going to go to...
I'm raising my hand.
I'll go to Eastside Dave.
Former Cardinal went overseas and was killed by friendly fire, it turns out. But originally we thought he was a hero.
Levi Johnston.
Sarah Palin's almost son-in-law who turned on the family and ended up posing for Playgirl.
I'm going to give this one to Hicks. Harry Whittington.
Ooh.
no
I'm glad I went to him.
Can't remember.
Harry Whittington?
Let me give you this.
English?
He did not so much have 15 minutes of fame, 15 buckshots.
Oh, Cheney shot him in the face?
Dick Cheney shot him in the face. He took a face job from Dick Cheney, and oh, what a time it was. The scandals of the last decade, Fez. A lot of fun. Tomorrow, as you listen to the best ofs, you will hear us go back and forth over the decade of Ron and Fez. We'll pick out some of the best and worst moments of the Ron and Fez show. We thank all you guys, and we hope that you're enjoying your holidays. Enjoy the best of the Ron and Fez show. And you know what this one's going to be about today, Fez?
I'm not sure.
It's exactly right. None of us are sure. By the best of, I tell Hicks, just run back into any date, pull a fucking tape, and let the magic rip, because it's all fantastic. Enjoy the best of the Ron and Fez show.